Hello, and welcome to the special Space Club Yom Haatzmaut presentation
by Perry Lisker
and Yehuda Rothschild. Today we'll be speaking about the beginnings of the ISA, Israel Space Agency,
the summary of the ISA's goals,
multiple important ISA projects,
the ISA's current missions,
multiple series of ISA satellites,
additional ISA projects,
and Ilan Ramon's mission, flight, message, and ultimate demise.
The beginnings of the ISA. The Israel Space Agency was founded in 1983. They operate under the Ministry of Science and Technology and are responsible for leading and coordinating all activities in space.
The goals of the ISA include expanding cooperation with various countries, promoting space research, investing in startups that are developing components for the Israeli and international space agencies, funding higher education for people with potential in space, and strengthening the connection of youth to the field of space.
What the ISA does. For the general public, they host events that offer interactive experiences in space-related fields. The ISA has made Israel into a world leader in the industry. Although Israel is small, they still have 3 series of satellites, and the ISA is developing micro and nano satellites. The JUICE project, collaboration. The ISA joined with the ESA in 2014 to begin Project JUICE, Jupiter Icy Moon Explorer. Authorization. In November 2020, the ESA's science program authorized the program's funding. Mission. The JUICE Explorer will launch in 2022 and reach Jupiter in 2030. Once there, it will research Jupiter and its moon for 3 years. The ISA's contribution. The ISA will sponsor the USO Ultra Stable Quartz Oscillator, which will research Jupiter's atmosphere.
The Opec Satellite Series. The Opec Satellite Series is a series of experimental surveillance satellites. They are normally launched from the Palmachim Air Base into low Earth orbit on the Shavit rocket, which is built by Israel. And the first rocket was launched on September 19, 1988. On that day, Israel became one of only 8 countries to make their own launch vehicle and satellites. It was built by the Israel Aerospace Industries, contracted out by the ISA. It actually launched westward, unlike all of the rockets which are launched eastward to gain a boost from the rotation of the Earth. This one launched westward in order not to fly over and drop used rocket stages over Arab and populated areas. Additional OPEC missions, like OPEC 16, launched in 2020 and have been largely successful, mostly using the Shavit 2 rocket and all being reconnaissance satellites.
AMOS satellites. The ISA's AMOS satellites are a series of 17 communication satellites. They provide seamless communication for the IDF and the Israeli government across Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. 3 AMOS satellites are still fully operational, with much more coming. The AMOS satellites have been launched on a variety of rockets, including the Russian Soyuz, Zenit, and Proton rockets, the ESA's Ariane rocket, and the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. They have been launched from 3 different locations, including Kazakhstan, the Guyana Space Center, and the Kennedy Space Center.
The EROS series. The EROS satellite is 2 Earth observation satellites. EROS A was launched in 2000 by Russia and re-entered the atmosphere in 2016. And EROS B was launched in 2006 by Russia and is still in operation today. It can take good pictures of a target of only 2 feet long and is currently monitoring Iran's nuclear program. IAI, the Israel Aerospace Industries, has been developing an EROS-C satellite since 2011. The Google Lunar X Prize. In 2007, Google announced a lunar competition, and the winner, which is whoever landed a rover on the moon first, would win $30 million. In 2015, an Israeli team called SpaceIL joined, and in 2017, they got permission to launch aboard of Falcon 9. The rover Bereshit launched in 2019 and attempted a landing in April, but unfortunately, the rover lost control at an altitude of only 500 feet and crashed into the moon.
Collaborative accomplishments. BGU satellite, Israel's first nanosatellite, was launched in 2017 with the India Space Research Organization. It was about the size of a milk carton and weighed only 11 pounds. It had amazing cameras in order to take pictures and videos of weather phenomena and send it back to Ben Gurion University. Radiation protection. Israel's STEMRAD company had been working with NASA to create a radiation protection vest when astronauts travel through the Van Allen radiation belts to the moon and Mars. Research. The ISA had been cooperating with NASA to do research in space on a number of topics which have done tremendous work in multiple scientific fields. Nuclear field. Scientists at Ben Gurion University have been doing R&D in nuclear fuel. They might be able to reduce the travel time from to Mars from 6 months to only 2 weeks with this special nuclear fuel.
Now we have a sad topic. Israel's first and only astronaut, Ilan Ramon. Ilan Ramon, an Israeli Air Force pilot who led the mission to bomb the Iraqi nuclear reactor, was selected in an agreement between the ISA and NASA to be in the NASA astronaut class in 1996. In 1996, he graduated as an astronaut from NASA and was selected for the Columbia STS-107 mission of 2003. In 1998, he reported to the Johnson Space Flight Center in Houston, where he trained until the mission in 2003. STS-107 launched on January 16, 2003, and stayed in space for 15 days. Ilan Ramon brought multiple Jewish heirlooms to space, including a barbed wire mezuzah from the Shoah and a miniature Sefer Torah that had been used in Bergen-Belsen. Although he didn't normally keep Shabbos, he decided to do so for this mission, since he was, quote, representing the entire Jewish people. During the launch of STS-107, a large piece of foam from the external fuel tank broke off and hit the heat shield tiles on the left wing of the Columbia. This incident went unnoticed, and the crew attempted to return to Earth with this damaged heat shield. Unfortunately, during re-entry, this crack caused the heat shield to be unable to protect the internals of the space shuttle from the intense heat. And with only 16 minutes before the scheduled landing, the space shuttle Columbia and its crew burned up and disintegrated in the atmosphere. The cause was determined by NASA, and the issue was resolved. If you enjoyed this presentation, please visit our website, drsspaceclub.wixsite.com/mysite. And if you have any questions, you can email drsspaceclub@gmail.com. Or if you would like to ask me something, you can email me at yehuda.rothschild@drshelp.org. Or if you want to ask Perry something, you can ask him at perry.lister@drshelp.org. Thank you, and have a great Yom Haatzmaut.